Hey friends, and welcome to the first episode of Doing You with me, Marichu. Today's episode, I'm so excited. I'm really nervous. I'm not lying to you. I'm so nervous. I have my treats there because I will be snacking. I'm so hungry right now. It's like 2 p.m. Anyways, I'm so excited. I felt like it would be really good to talk about why I'm starting a podcast and what the purpose of this podcast, goal. I don't know. Honestly, it's just because I want to do it, but we'll get into that. I actually wanted to start this podcast back in March. Yeah, I don't know. There was something in me that was like, man, I really want to start a podcast. I love talking, but to myself, not to a lot of people. I'm really shy, but I love talking. And I was like, what if I start a podcast? And in Heat, we have mentors and stuff. And I was talking to my mentor. I love her. Shout out to Clara. Talking, I want to do this thing and super supportive. And I was like, I'm a person that I do get very overwhelmed. I'll look too much at the big picture that I will stop and not do it because I won't look at the steps ahead. I will just look at that goal. I'm like, oh, that's a lot. I'm not going to do it right now. I say right now. I will never say in my life I won't do something. I just say not right now. But I wanted to do this podcast back in March. I started to map it out. You can look at my little journal. Mapped it out, writing out, figuring out what am I going to name it, this and this. And then it just started, then it was April. And I was like, oh, I haven't started this. I haven't done it. But then it was like, I don't have a name. I can't start it if I don't have a name. I can't start it if I don't have this and that. And I started to let these little nuances of the whole spectrum of it start to stop my progress. And I realized it was because I was scared. I was very scared to do this. But yeah, then April turned into May. I think at that point I had my first cover photo and I was like, guys, I'm gonna do it. No, you weren't, but you're so cute. At least you were getting somewhere. It's not the cover photo I have now, by the way. It's not. It's not at all. But I started with that and I finally found the title and okay, well, what's my, what am I going to be talking about and who's my audience? And I was just thinking way too deep into it. And I knew I was going to do it, but I started to create little problems for myself so that I wouldn't do it because I was so scared. This is so new for me. And I'm always very I'ma just do it. We're gonna go for it. It's gonna be great. Diving head first. That is my thing. I dive into something. I'm not a dip your toe in, see, test the waters. No. It's either I'm in the water or I'm observing. But I'm never slowly in there. I just don't do that. I don't play that game. So here, I wasn't dipping my toes. I was literally just watching. I was like, well, this is why I can't start now. I'm blah 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 blah. Oh, it's finals. I'm too busy. This and this. There's always something. Boom. Hits June. Season for dance is over. School, my semester was done. I was summertime. Yeah, I had a little job, but it wasn't taking me all day. So I had no excuse. And I was like, you know what, guys, I'm going to do it. It was what I was journaling. I was manifesting. I was like, we're going to do the podcast. I have no excuse. I got myself to film. I created a trailer and a video. No one will see those videos. I will make sure of it. Some of my friends did see it. And not that they were bad. They weren't. And it would have been fine. But I was so scared, internally, I was so scared to do this podcast. I was so nervous of what are people going to say? What's going to happen? This and this and that and that. And it was so much. I literally stopped myself from actually going after the stream because I was so scared of what? Literally of what? Nothing. I was scared of nothing. But I created a whole video, a whole trailer that I think only 2 of my friends saw, by the way. No one else will see. I have those videos saved. I do have them. No one will see them. Maybe I'll put in like a little clip here and there. She was super cutie. Actually, I think I had my hair crimped too. But it was like in my room at home. But like I did that and I was like, oh, we're getting somewhere. No, we weren't. Like I didn't even have like a Spotify or an Apple. Like I had nothing set up. I just did this video, which was good. But then I was like, well, now I don't know how to set up like a Spotify thing. I don't know how to set up Apple thing. I have Google. I could have easily figured it out, but I just use that as an excuse. Cool. Summer continues. I never really touched it again. I was focusing on like living summer up and living my life. Whatever. We start school. We start the season. That just adds more excuses as to why I couldn't start. And I was like, oh, I'm just really busy. Like, there's just so much going on. And I definitely fell into a rut during that August, September time. There was a lot of new stuff happening all at once. Like, I did not feel like myself. I felt so overwhelmed with life in general. It just wasn't the best time for me. But, like, I'm really good at picking myself out of ruts, but that's through work. I love working. I'm a workaholic. It's bad. Is bad. But I was like, okay, I know to get myself out of this, we have to do something that's for us. And I love dancing, but sometimes it's not dancing. And I was like, we're gonna do this podcast. I was like, we are gonna do this podcast. And I remember sitting down one day and like writing out everything I needed to do and all these excuses I gave myself as to why I couldn't, blah, blah, blah. I was going to do them, so I had no excuses. So, like, I created the site on Spotify. I created the site on Apple. I even created a site on YouTube. And I was like, I'm going to do it on YouTube. Like, we're going to go for it. I made my little Instagram. I redid my cover photo because, like, the one that I had before just, like, wasn't giving what I wanted it to give. So I was like, going to redo the cover photo. I was like, we're going to do this. And I picked a weekend where I knew like all my friends were out of town. They were like doing Halloween Horror Nights. They went up to Orlando to do that. I knew I was going to just like be by myself in my dorm. I was like, I'm not going to be distracted. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do this. And I like finally did it. And I remember when I finished it, I just kind of like sat and I was like, like, it just felt like there was, like, a relief because it was like, wow, I didn't do this because of this fear, but what was the fear? What was the fear? Please tell me. Because then I did it, and, like, no, it wasn't perfect, but nothing in this world will be perfect, but I did it. I did something that I was so scared of. And that was just one. Creating, like actually filming the trailer and sitting and recording and talking and making sure that it sounds great and tiki-teen, all of that jazz. Yeah, that was a hard part. But then it was like, I have to post. And then the cycle began again. And it was like, oh, okay, well, I just filmed the trailer. Well, when I film my first episode, then I'll like post about it. And I remember when I filmed the trailer and I was like, well, I'm going to upload the trailer because I need to know I did this. So I uploaded the trailers to my Spotify and Apple. Mind you, this is like, I'm filming this today. This is all like 5 days ago. Okay. I uploaded the audio trailers to Spotify and Apple, and I uploaded the video to YouTube, and I only told like my closest friends, like 2 of my closest friends and my mentor from Heat, and I was like, when I film my first episode this weekend, I'm gonna do it, I promise, then I'll like post all about it. And one of my friends was like, send me your cover photo. And I knew when she sent me that text message, it was because she was gonna post about it. And I was like, oh my god, wait, she can't post until I post. And I was like, but I'm not ready to post. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to post about this. I have no episode done. I don't even know when I was going to film this episode. It's today. It's Sunday. Filming on a Sunday. I didn't know. But I was like, I'm going to post. I had the Instagram ready. And I posted the cover photo and created the thing. And I was like, do I tag myself? What do I do? And like, my roommate mind you, she just came from class, and she's like, but why is this girl freaking out? She probably is always questioning why I'm freaking out. And then I just like posted it, and that really was, I think, the biggest fear that I had to overcome, was like, I already did the work, but now I actually have to promote it and show and tell people. Because like, I've been wanting to do a podcast. I haven't told a single person. I think one of my friends on the dance team knew about it, and my two closest kind of friends in general, and like maybe my dad, because logistic stuff, and my mentor. But like, I didn't tell anybody. It wasn't something I was like, oh, I'm gonna start a podcast. Like, no, not a single soul. Like, it really has been under wraps for a minute. And I had to get over and post and be like, I'm doing this. And I posted it, and I like had to turn off my phone, and I wasn't on my phone for like the rest of the day. And thank God it was a day that I was busy. But like, I just felt such a relief, because I was like, I am doing this. I'm doing this, and I'm once again jumping head into the water, because that's how I have to do life. And I know it's not for everyone, but I just feel like it is so helpful for people to just kind of, you just go and do it. Don't dip your toe in, because you're going to give yourself excuses as to why you're not going to do it. Like, you got to just like jump in, cannonball in, backflip in. I'd probably pancake in, if everyone knows. Maybe someone will see one day. I love a good pancake. Eating wise, yes. But like acro dance wise, love a good pancake. I would probably do that into, like, that's me. Like, I just got to go full force into something. That's how I am in general. Like, in everything that I do, I'm always like, let me just try this, you know? And not that I'm not scared, because trust me, I am. But like, I'm more scared of not doing something because of fear than just doing it and seeing what the outcome is. Of course, with precaution, especially if it's like dance acro, chill. Like, me having to do a back walk over, I hate going backwards. I can flip forward, I can do whatever. I hate going backwards. I'm so scared. But I was close to getting a back handspring this summer. I really was, okay? And I'm gonna get it with time. With practice. I'm gonna set time aside to practice, I promise. But sometimes you just gotta go for things. And it's so scary. Everything in life is scary. But I think what's scarier is risking a life that you're not gonna love because you're scared of doing something, you know. And growing up, I've always just been very headstrong, and like, I always had sayings when I was younger, which was like, you're not the boss of me, and I do what I want to do. And like, you can ask my parents, like, where'd I learn that from? They don't even know. I don't know, but I did. Like, those were the terms I was saying at like 4 and 5 years old. Like, I was a very bossy kid. But I just knew what I wanted to do, and I always did it. No one was going to stop me. You could have told me whatever. You could have literally tried to hand destroy my life, and I was still going to somehow achieve whatever I wanted to achieve. Like, I was going to do everything and anything I wanted to do. That was never a question, ever. And trust me, there have always been people saying that's wrong and that's this, and you shouldn't do it like this, and you should do this. And in life, there are going to be people who have something to say, always. But why would you make the decision to live life the way they want to do it? It's not going to make you happy. You'll probably be miserable, to be honest. And guess what? They're still going to be talking about you, and whatever you're doing is still wrong. So why not just do whatever you want to do? Live your life. They're going to talk anyways, but at least you're doing what makes you happy. At least you're doing something for you, because this is your life. No one else's life. Your life. So like, you got to just like go out and just do things for you, not for anybody else. Regardless of, oh, but I'm not going to be, what? Stop it. Negative thoughts are awful, man. I have them all the time. Sometimes I just like punch them, and I have to ignore them. And that's okay. And you just keep trying. Like, honestly, this is the second time I'm recording this episode. It really is. I recorded the first time and I was like, that was a lot. But I could have just stopped, right? I went and grabbed my snackies, which I'm going to have one right now. I went and grabbed my snackies and I was like, well, technically I filmed it. I probably wouldn't have went to go edit it. I probably would have just never touched the footage again and been like, oh, I have to film the first episode another day. And for what? Then I'm never going to film a first episode. Like, seriously. Hold on. I need a snack. True fruit. Guys, I love true fruit. This is like one of the 4 packs I have in my freezer. And they're soft now. Yummy. Anyways, snack breaks are super dangerous because I'm super lost. But jumping in, it's really important that you're just making choices for you. Again, people are always going to have something to say. In every situation, not even just like social media or, online, whatever. Like, I just went to a Panthers game with one of my friends and we were taking photos because it was one of the breaks and I wanted a photo with the arena in the background. Like, I wanted to be super cutie girl. And yes, did I go to a Panthers hockey game in heels and little jean shorts and like a cutie little Panthers top and like had my hair and makeup done? Yeah, I did. And of course they were laughing and, whistling or making whatever comments and stuff. And it's like, I don't care though. Like, I look so good. I'm going to get photos. Like, again, people are always going to have something to say. You just have to ignore it. Let it go in one ear and out the other. Because at the end of the day, I still want my content. I still want to do these things. I want to build my own career. No one else is going to do it for me but myself. And I'm definitely not going to let somebody hinder my future. Because they can't get their act right. Because they themselves are super insecure. Because that is what I've learned. Especially like in college. Baby. The ones who are judging you the most, the ones who are talking about you the most, the ones that are being the meanest are the ones that are the most insecure. 100%. And you ask them to do anything for themselves, they won't. Because they are so scared. What are people going to say? Because they're the ones talking. They have nothing else better to do with their lives. But talk about you. But you know what? Please talk about me. Go crazy. Because I'm still living my life and I'm happy. Because seriously, like, my biggest goals in life, it's not to have this crazy successful career. It's not to have this amazing, beautiful, perfect relationship. It is not all these little things to have the biggest mansion. Like, yes, I have dreams and goals and I have little things that I know I'm going to achieve. But my biggest goal is to be a good person, to be a good and happy person. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be sad. Like, I will be. There's going to be times that my life is not going to be perfect and things are going to happen, and that's okay. But I just want to be a good person. And I want to be happy. And I want that for myself. I want to be that for others because there's already a lot of mean and negativity in this world. So I want to be that for others, but I want to be that for me. I just want to be a good person. Someone that I'm proud of being on a daily. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to have moments. I'm going to have decisions. I'm going to have choices that I'm going to make, and they're not going to be the best all the time. And that's okay. But my intentions are always to be moving in good ways. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this episode with me. Just focus on always doing whatever you want to do. And not caring about anybody else and what they have to say and what they have to think and blah, 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 blah. Just freaking go head first into it. Dive into the water. Because I promise you're not going to sink. I promise you won't. You're going to succeed so good. And I'm here supporting you forever. Yeah. I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye. honestly just so proud of myself. Bruh. Literally crying.